My name is Jonathan Pasquale, and I am the godfather of Iona Pasquale, a Justin Cienega alumnus from the class of 2020. The last time I stood here was at the height of COVID, watching my son receive his diploma, a moment of triumph in a time of uncertainty. Today, you're gathered for a different kind of event, the Relay for Life, where you will join forces as the Justin Cienega Braves, the Napa Grizzlies, and the Vintage Crushers to fight cancer. Alone, it may seem like we can't do much, but together, we are a force for good. Honoring those who have lost their lives, supporting those who are fighting, and maybe even inspiring someone among you to help find the cure for cancer. 2 years ago, I found out I have cancer. I have a tumor near my heart. It has spread to my lungs and bones. I am living with stage 4 mediastinal paraganglioma, a terminal diagnosis with no cure, no surgery, and no bells for me to ring, signaling the end of treatment. But I'm still here, and I'm still fighting. Since my diagnosis, I have undergone radiation therapy and treatments that sound like science fiction. Radioactive compounds injected into my bloodstream, targeting only the cancer cells. My spine has cracked from the cancer's advance, but thanks to a surgeon's skill, I was free from pain, and it allowed me to continue doing what I love. Swimming in lakes and oceans, riding 100 miles on my bicycle, running in mountains, competing in marathons, ultramarathons, and triathlons. And in just 2 weeks, I will be competing in the prestigious Ironman Triathlon World Championship in Kona, Hawaii. This consists of a 2.4 mile This consists of a 2.4-mile ocean swim, a 112-mile bike ride along the lava fields, and it culminates with a 26.2-mile marathon in the island's intense heat. I share this not to tell you how much I've endured, but to challenge the notion that a stage 4 cancer diagnosis means defeat or a death sentence. It's not. It's an invitation to show what true strength, courage, and resilience really are. Every day I face symptoms, shortness of breath, chronic pain, dizziness sometimes at the verge of passing out. But I refuse to let cancer define me. There are dark moments, but there's always light if we choose to find it. While I've been told I only have 5 years to live, I am grateful for each day. My life may soon cease, but my spirit is unyielding. Each moment is a gift made brighter by my incredible family and support system. And today, you become part of that support system, because you are here fighting for a cause that touches so many lives. Your fight begins with awareness. If someone in your family or friend group notices changes like unexplained weight loss, lumps or swelling anywhere in the body, fatigue, or changes in skin or molds, encourage them to see a doctor. Ask your family about cancer history. and be vigilant as you grow older. And start practicing healthy habits now. Avoid smoking or vaping. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and minimize processed foods. And stay active to build a strong and healthy body. Cancer may have slowed me down, but my decades of swimming, biking, and running have prepared me not just for my races, but for the battle against cancer. The funds you raise through the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life will help support cancer research, provide service for patients, and offer hope to families. If you have a family member who has battled cancer, they've benefited from these programs, from breakthroughs in treatment to support during difficult times. When I spoke to the cross-country teams at NAPA and Vintage, I told them the same thing I'll tell you today. Your mindset is your most powerful tool. You will face challenges, adversity, suffering, loss, health issues, mental struggles, injustices. But each of those trials is an opportunity to show what you're made of. Face them with courage and never be afraid to ask for help. You're expected to be the best students, athletes, artists, and citizens. But being a force for good means being the best friend, the best teammate, the best son or daughter, and the kindest person in the room. It means giving to others even when you are struggling. In my Filipino culture, we have a concept called bayanihan, meaning no one is left behind, and the concept of kapwa, meaning neighbor, kindred, or fellow human, reminding us that we are all connected. Resilience and perseverance are qualities people often say I possess. But I believe it all starts with courage. The root of the word courage is the Latin word cor, meaning heart. It's the heart that gives rise to Justin Siena's motto, "We are all heart." Courage at its core comes from the heart, and it's what drives us to face life's challenges, not alone, but with strength of our community. I'll end with a quote from the Lord of the Rings. When Samwise Gamgee was helping Frodo carry the ring to Mount Doom, and Frodo was overwhelmed, Sam said, "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." I may be carrying this terminal disease, but my family, friends, and even strangers have carried me with prayers, support, and above all, love. On Sunday, carry each other, cheer each other on, fight cancer by being a force for good. Thank you.
Love to open it up to any questions that you might have, which I know were a lot and a little overwhelming, but is there anyone out there that has a couple questions that you might want to ask at Jonathan today?
I have to acknowledge how a vulnerable time that is. A lot of things I know are about to be taken away from, and that means loss. That's your ability to your friends, your family, and I've always been that strong, active person, and I try to maintain that. And I thought maybe it's time to just retire and sit back, sit down and relax and enjoy my time. It didn't feel good. What felt good when you have something that is terrifying, such as diagnosis, is to just go back and feel what is it that means so much, and that is opening up to my family, son, my wife, my friends, and realizing that I still have so much more to give. So I returned to work. Even though it's part-time, I'm actually doing more responsibilities now in lung transplant. I've competed so many times over the last 2 decades in marathons, ultramarathons, and I've only been called a champion once, winning one ultramarathon, 100-kilometer mile run in the mountains. But I'm far more proud to be a part of the lung transplant group in UCSF because I belong to that group, which is the #1 lung transplant group in the country, maybe even the world. And I'm still able to have meaning and help people live their lives. And then it's been a gift. I look at it as an opportunity. And I start seeing people from a long time ago, even my kindergarten classmates, elementary school classmates in college, and they come back and we have reconnected. And the gift of today, because I reached out, people reached out back to me, and I am standing in front of you, and to me this is a gift. And it all starts with reaching out.
Are you afraid to die?
Good question. The question is, am I afraid to die? The quick answer is no. In 2007, I had a breakthrough, and my son was 4 years old, and I have this beautiful young wife, and I said, I'm going to die. That's a very real possibility. But I went to UCSF, and that's where this brilliant surgeon took out the tumor from my brain. And I started thinking, how do I live my life such that at the end of my life, I can say I have made a difference. So from that day forward, I started thinking about how do I conduct my life? I started asking questions, and I went back to ancient writings of the Stoics. It's a philosophy of basically not worrying too much about things that are beyond your control. All of us will meet our demise one day, right? However, if you are not encumbered by things that happened in the past and not so worried about what's going to happen in the future and just focusing on what you can do today, are you doing good? Are you helping others? Are you kind? Are you making a difference? Then I know I am at peace that at the end of my life, I did what I can. The question is, what is your advice when someone you love, someone you know is struggling through cancer? There are so many variations to answer this question. And I think that when I find somebody who I know has cancer, and this has actually happened over the last 2 years, and then they tell me, oh, my post, for example, I thought I would know what to say. I didn't. I was at a loss for words. It took me days to even reach out because I didn't know what to say. And then I realized the most important thing is actually reaching and being present. And it could be as simple as, hey, I'm here, you send a text, or you leave a message, say, hey, you don't need to answer right now, but when you feel like it, I'm here. I can be present for you. You can talk, go for a walk, and there are so many things that you can do. You know, you can send a card and send flowers. Just be present. At the initial time of diagnosis, people come together. People bring you food and gifts and things like those. And I remember in the hospital, I said, this is incredible. This is wonderful sushi. Like, people are bringing me food like it's my last supper. But I'm kidding. And then things dissipate, right? There's that initial coming together, and then people go through treatments, and sometimes that's actually the time that it's the most difficult for those patients who are going through treatments. They're going through so many symptoms of the side effects of treatment, and that is the time that you need to be present. Well,
okay, let's do this. One big energetic